What we've got here is a Whirlpool Duet front loader that's been overfilling, so we're going to try to find out what's going on. After a bit of research on the internet, looking for causes for what might cause a machine to overfill or underfill, I got some information that all front loaders, apparently, at least all major brands, have a pressure switch that sends a signal to the appropriate places whenever there's sufficient water in the tub for the wash cycle to begin or the further cycles. A couple of things can go wrong there. One is the pressure switch itself can be bad, which is right there where I zoomed in, which is on the right rear as you're looking at straight on at the machine. On the inside, of course, you have to take the top cover off to see that. But before you go out and buy one of those, which I found anywhere from 20 to 60 bucks online, you might want to check the hose, which I did, and I'll show you what I found as I did that. Now, in order to trace that hose down, you also have to take the back off the machine, which again is no huge task. I think probably 8 or 10 screws to get the back off. And looking at the back of the machine and tracing that tube down, you can see where it goes and connects into a fitting at the bottom of the tub. And apparently it senses pressure when the water level is at a sufficient height to do what it needs to do for the given cycle that's been programmed. At any rate, as I inspected this tube, I walked up through and looked, I found something very interesting, and that's right about here. If I can point that out with a flashlight, you can see it chafed. In fact, it chafed to the point where there's a hole in it. And even though there's grommets there to hold it in place, that's where it chafed, and actually chafed a hole in the tube, which renders the whole system ineffective. So we're going to see what we can do with that. It's a pretty simple matter to get the hose off. You can take this pressure switch, just twist it in the bracket, take it loose, and then we'll pull the hose off of it here in just a second. Now with the hose off, you can just let it drop, go down to the bottom side, and pull it off at the bottom. Like this and like this. Take it out of the brackets and remove the offending hose. There again is a close-up of the offending hole in the hose. Now I ran into a problem here in that it's a weekend, and of course I can't find one of these hoses, so I'm going to attempt a temporary fix to this until I can order the proper hose. And of course I'd never recommend using anything other than original equipment, but I may have to try something in the interim. So I took a little trip down to one of the local big box stores, couldn't find anything, so I went to an AutoZone and got a hose there that's actually made for a windshield washer. So we'll see if we can make that work. I did find a hose. This is the box it came in, and do a little shot here. This is the different size hose it is. It is outside diameter is a little different, but it looks the inside is pretty close. But just to be safe, I also bought some clamps to put on it to hold it in place. Keep in mind, again, this is temporary. I do plan to order the original hose Monday and be a few days, but in the meanwhile I'd like to get some laundry done this week, so hopefully this will work. Alright, I've installed the hose on the pressure switch. As you can see, I ran the little clamp up there to make a tight seal because apparently this is a very sensitive pressure switch, and if you have any leaks at all, it's not going to work properly. That's with the pressure switch latched back into its location on the right rear of the inside of the washer cabinet. So just a quick look there at how that should look. Now as you thread this hose down on the back side of the cabinet, you want to make sure you have it properly latched into its little clamp holders there. Because the last thing in the world you want to have happen is the same thing that caused this in the beginning. And as you'll probably know, this whole tub moves around a lot. So if you come in contact with it with this hose, which is obviously what happened some time ago to cause the leak, you're going to have a leak again fairly quickly. Now, as you can see, everything's connected. Particularly take note of the styrofoam protector here that keeps it from rubbing against the tub up through its brackets, and we're on. So we're about ready to give it a try. So far, so good. Earlier, at this point in time, I'd have been thinking about trying to cut the thing off to keep it from flowing out on the floor, but at least so far it seems to be holding its own and working properly. But we'll continue to monitor it here all the way through this cycle. I put it on the quick wash cycle so we don't have to wait too long. As long as it doesn't get up above this window, I think we'll be all right on this loader. If you're really testing it, you shouldn't put any clothes in it and just see, but I couldn't wait. I had some dirty towels. So. You know, after watching this spin out back here, I think I may have to reposition this line, because I can see right now that over time that's going to wear out again. Of course, I'll be in here again putting the original equipment, but nevertheless, you can see why it's important for the line to be properly secured. Alright, I repositioned the line, as you can see from the earlier one. It looks like that's going to hold up better, and I'm going to just trust it that's going to do that, because I'm pretty much done with this. So, quick review. As you can see, I've replaced the original hose that was in there that had a hole in it with this hose that I got from AutoZone that's actually made for windshield washers. That hopefully will hold up at least long enough for me to get the original hose replaced and back in there. It was actually not a hard process, all told. Only took me about 8 hours. No, just kidding. That probably included driving around town looking for a hose. But either way, there's the pressure valve. Hose goes all the way down the back side. You got to take off the top and the back of the washer to get to it and replace that. And that's pretty much it. Thank you much. Since I've had this machine out, sliding it around and moving it and bumping it, probably not a bad idea to recheck the level on it before we release it for service, as we say. It looks pretty good that way. And she looks pretty good that way. So, where's my wife? Laundry time. Underneath the top cover of your washer is this little document. It says for technician use only, just FYI. And I know it contains some technical information, of course, which I'm way too smart to use, which I didn't, but I depended on the internet instead. Great law. Okay, bye-bye.